What would you say the single thing was for you to go and grab life by the bollocks and go for it? Because something had to spark that.
I was instilled with a duty for a very long time to honor my ancestors through achievement. And I was told from a very young age that the only thing your ancestors are interested in is achievement. Even to this day, when I do podcasts, people repeatedly talk about my father. If I wasn't successful, he wouldn't be spoken about anymore. He died 9 years ago, and he was a good chess player, but no one's really that interested in chess. The reason he lives on is because I'm so monumentally successful that people are interested in my origin story, and he is mentioned. The reason I will live forever is because my son will be so monumentally successful that they'll talk about how he could have been such a perfect specimen of man, how he was raised, and they will mention me. If you give a shit about your ancestry, and if you give a fuck about your family, and you're not a selfish person, and you want them to exist out in the ether for reality, for the eternity of reality, it is your duty to be successsul.
That's why I got Dad to start the YouTube channel, because it's kind of commemorating you forever. People
Completely.
can look at that.
Am I on my way?
Not yet. 100 years left, bro.
You've got loads of time left. But yeah, no, it's always there for people to look at. And it's like that version of my dad that I always saw, you know, and I wanted other people to experience that.
Completely. So if you love your family and you love your last name and you're proud of yourself, then you have a duty to be massively, monumentally successful, to show homage to your ancestors. I find it amazing there are people out here today who are going to sit and say, oh, I'm sad, I'm too depressed, I don't want to work hard. Do you understand that only 200 years ago, there were peasants out working a field, starving, surviving the Black Death, surviving the plague, struggling to exist just to reproduce, so that 200 years later, you can be the end of their bloodline, for you to sit on your ass and do fucking nothing. Like, you're a fuck up. You're fucking up your entire bloodline of your entire ancestry. You owe these people things. They went through hell for you to exist. You have a debt, you have a duty to pay. You have to be the best possible version of yourself. And the same to God. God loves people who try. God loves people who work hard. It's amazing if you try your very best all the time, what God will give you. He'll give it to you, anything you want, if you actually try. Not convincing yourself you try, actually try. They're different things. But yeah, I was instilled with this because from a young age, my dad said, you're a Tate. And Tates are the greatest people on the face of the planet. And there's gonna be a day I'm not here anymore, and they're gonna talk about me because of how fantastic you are. So go do your fucking job. And I said, yes, sir. And here I am.
And it's a similar thing to what you said, like every Tilbury has to do better than the last.
He does, and you will. And that's how it should be.
That's absolutely, because that's family legacy.
You know, they went through the Middle Ages. I watched a video on this just recently, and the Middle Ages lasted, or the Dark Ages, for about 400 years. No one progressed. Nothing progressed.
Yeah.
They lived the worst, and I'm going to swear, the shittiest life for 400 years. And exactly as you say, just reproducing so that you can be on this planet at this time now.
Completely.
And that's got to be, you got to respect that.
You got to respect it.
I wouldn't want to have gone through it.
Absolutely. And
No Bugattis back then.
unfortunately. And like you said about each Tilbury being better than the last, that's exactly the way to look at it. That's how life should be. You should have a duty to your ancestry.
And my father taught that to me, and his taught it to him.
And it's disappearing from society. It used to be like, I am Andrew, son of Emery. It was all about who you're son of.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
And it's all vanishing now.
Yeah.
But you have a legacy you can build. And I love the fact that when I was growing up, when my dad walked into a chess tournament, people were scared because his name was said, and they were fearful of his last name. And now people are fearful of the last name again because of me, and they will be again because of my son. And this is the beauty of life as a man.